Imagine a funnel, just 33 kilometers wide at its mouth. Now imagine 20% of the world's oil pouring through that funnel every single day. That's not a metaphor. That's the Strait of Hormuz. I'm your host, and this is Energy Unlocked. Let me paint you a picture. Every day, roughly 20 million barrels of crude oil pass through this narrow waterway. That's nearly 1/5 of global petroleum consumption. In dollar terms, at its most confined point, the shipping lanes for incoming and outgoing tankers are each just 2 miles wide. 2 miles. That puts every single vessel within easy reach of Iran's coastline. Now, let's talk about who actually uses this route. Saudi Arabia ships most of its crude through here. So does Iraq, Kuwait, the UAE, and Qatar. Together, these nations send something like 80 to 20 million barrels daily through the strait. And it's not just oil. Qatar also pushes virtually all its LNG, liquefied natural gas heating, European homes. Qatar. So why does this matter right now in early 2026? Because tensions are rising again. Just last month, Iran temporarily restricted shipping through parts of the strait during military drills. The timing was unrandom. It happened while US and Iranian negotiators were sitting down for nuclear talks in Geneva. Coincidence? Not a chance. This is a pattern stretching back decades. Every time Tehran feels squeezed by sanctions or wants leverage in negotiations, the Strait of Hormuz enters the conversation. Sometimes it's just rhetoric. Sometimes it's mines spotted near tankers. Sometimes it's actual seizures. Remember 2019? Iranian forces captured the British-flagged tanker Stina. Remember 2023? They seized 2 more tankers in a week. Each time, global oil markets held their breath. Each time, prices jumped. And here's the terrifying math. If Iran ever made good on threats to actually block the strait, analysts at Goldman Sachs and Rystad Energy agree oil could spike past $100 a barrel within days. Some models say $120, $150, even higher. The global economy would stagger. Inflation would surge. Central banks would panic. But surely there are alternatives, right? Pipelines? Yes and no. Saudi Arabia and the UAE have built pipelines that bypass the strait. The Saudis have the East-West pipeline running across the kingdom to the Red Sea. The UAE has the Habshan-Fujairah pipeline. Together, they can move maybe 6 to 7 million barrels a day. That sounds decent until you realize total flow through the strait is nearly triple that. Pipelines can soften the blow, but they can't replace the strait. Not even close. And here's something most people don't realize. The strait isn't just narrow, it's deep. Tankers, carrying 2 million barrels each, navigate waters that drop to just 75 meters in places. That means any serious disruption, a sunken vessel, a naval confrontation, floating mines could choke the route for months, not days. Now let's zoom out and look at who's watching. China imports most of its oil from the Gulf. Every tanker heading to Shanghai or Hong Kong passes here. Japan, South Korea, India. Some story. These are American allies, and their energy security depends entirely on a waterway Iran could theoretically close. That's why the U.S. Fifth Fleet is based in nearby Bahrain. That's why American warships constantly patrol these waters. That's why, when Iran seized tankers in 2023, the Pentagon announced it was sending destroyers and fighter squadrons to the region. But here's the uncomfortable truth Washington rarely admits. The U.S. military can't guarantee the strait stays open. Not really. Mines are cheap. Drones are cheap. Speedboats are cheap. An aircraft carrier is not. Asymmetric warfare in narrow waters favors the defender, not the world's most powerful navy. And Iran knows this. They've spent decades studying how to close the strait quickly, temporarily, just long enough to create chaos, long enough to send oil to triple digits. So, where do things stand in February 2026? Nuclear talks are happening. Sanctions are still in place. Iran's oil exports have crept up, despite restrictions mostly to China, using shadow fleets and complex paper trails. But the fundamental dynamic hasn't changed. The world still needs Gulf oil, and that oil still flows through a 33-kilometer funnel within artillery range of Iranian shores. Here's what I want you to remember. Every time you fill your gas tank, every time you see energy prices in the news, every time politicians debate energy independence, think about this narrow strip of water. Think about the tankers squeezing through 2-mile lanes. Think about the mines that could be sitting on the seabed. The Strait of Hormuz isn't just a geography lesson. It's the world's energy jugular. And in 2026, it's as fragile as ever. What do you think? Will Iran ever actually close it? Or is it all brinkmanship? Drop your take in the comments. And if you want to understand the real forces moving global energy, hit that subscribe button. Next time, we're looking at the shadow fleet, the mysterious tankers moving Iranian oil under everyone's radar. Thanks for watching. Stay curious, and remember, the energy that powers your life travels through places you'll probably never see.